So today we're going to be looking at light and filters. How do colors mix? What are primary colors? What are secondary colors? And it's a little bit different than pigments. And we'll also take a look at what are called polarized filters as well, which are often found on glasses. So we're going to go ahead and get started and talk about the different types of filters that you can have for light. So there's three types of filters that you could have. Imagine you have something such as glass. So let's take a look at regular glass, okay? And here is going to be our sheet of glass. Now imagine you also have a material like a piece of paper, okay? Piece of paper, and that's going to be our sheet of paper. And then imagine that you have a piece of like metal, like aluminum foil. So you have your aluminum foil, and here is your aluminum foil coming down like this. When we're looking at the rays of light coming in and the rays of light that are going to be passed through. So with the glass, what you have is these are your parallel rays of light that are coming through. And what happens is that these rays of light have the ability to slip through the molecules of glass and to pass through. So what we get on the other side of the glass is you get your light, but you also get the image that's beyond that. For example, if you're looking out a clear window, you can see very clearly the objects, whether it be another house, or it's the street, or it's a car, or it's a tree. You can see the light, plus you can see the image as well. And because of this, this is going to be called transparent. So if you're having light go through a glass, this is going to be transparent. Now, trans means across, and pair, like a parent. A parent gives rise to you. It gives birth to you. Parent actually means born. And so when it's talking about being transparent, the image is being born across. So parent means born, trans means across. So the image is taken across your material, in this case, which is glass. Now, if we take a look at some rays of light that are going to be going through paper, what happens is that the light is not evenly transmitted across the paper. It runs into a little bit of a roadblock. So what happens is these light rays might be going something like this. So what happens is it disrupts the image. The light is still born across. The light can still get through. However, the image is not transported through. So we get the light that goes through, but we don't get the image. Okay, so in this case, it's not transparent. We would call this translucent. Okay, in this case, Lux, like the angel of light, Lucifer, or Lux. Lux and Lux mean light. So in this case, just the light is going across. In this case, the light does go across, but there's no image. So this is called translucent. With the foil, what happens is all of the light rays are completely blocked. So in this case, you get no light going across, and you get no image going across either. This is an example of something that would be opaque. Opaque objects do not allow light to pass through them. So those are the first three different types of filters. What we're going to look at now is we're going to be taking light and passing it through a prism. And we've done something similar to this in chemistry. Here's going to be a triangular prism. In chemistry, I passed out a triangular prism for all the students to hold, and when you looked through that, when you looked up at the light or looked at the window, what was happening is you were seeing rainbows on the top and on the bottom of this prism. So what happens is when you take white light and you send it through a prism, what you get is called the continuous spectrum. If you remember, the wavelengths of light are going to be separated according to their color. You'll get the colors of the rainbow. You get your VIB-GYOR. This rainbow of colors, if you remember from chemistry, is part of the electromagnetic spectrum, and there are no gaps or any spaces. It's one continuous blending from one color to the next. This is called a continuous spectrum. So we have a continuous spectrum. What we did in chemistry is we took all those colors and we blended them back together again, and we got white. So if you take all the colors of the rainbow, put them back together and go in reverse, you can get white. So what are the colors, the three, if you break light down, what are the three primary colors that you can get? Well, if you're painting and using pigments, you have red, you have blue, and you have yellow. It's a little bit different with light though. If you have a red coloration right here and a red filter, this will allow only red light to pass through. And if we mix this with blue, we will get a color called magenta. Magenta is like a dark red. What's really interesting is the third primary color is not yellow, but the third primary color is actually green. And if you take red, blue, and green together, you will get the color white, because these are the three primary colors, and if you add them together, you will have all the colors of the rainbow to make white again. Well, why is that? Well, what's going to happen if you mix red and green? I prepared a video for this, and you can watch it after this. When you mix red and green together, it's going to make, surprisingly, yellow. So red and green will make yellow. And so now that you have your yellow right here, if you take your yellow and your blue, you will not get green. This is in another video. If you take yellow and blue, you're going to get white. Now, yes, if you take a blue filter and cover that with a yellow filter and then shine the light through that, yes, you will get green, and we'll explain why. What I'd like you to do now is take a look at the video that is showing these colors. Oh, in addition to that, we also have this color down below here, which is blue and green. This is going to be a cyan, which is kind of a cool green color, named after cyanobacteria, and cyanobacteria also called blue-green algae. So if you take a look at the video showing these colors, you'll see that the yellow forms, and then after that I'd like you to do the next lab portion, and that's going to be taking a look at filters and prisms.